Hey everybody, it's Chris with Simple Tech, coming to you from a new environment today with this week's Simple Tech tip, helping you take the stress out of IT. So one of the things that we've been hitting on lately is macOS Ventura. So that is new to Apple's ecosystem in terms of software. It's been 2 weeks now. And one of the cool features that I was looking forward to is what they're calling continuity camera. And I'll just simplify that for you. It's using your iPhone as your camera when it's maybe using it on a Mac, for instance. There could actually be a lot of good use cases for that. Maybe you have a Mac Mini. That's the first one that obviously comes to my mind, or maybe the new Mac Studio, and you're not paying $5,000 for one of their beautiful displays that has a built-in camera. So there might be some opportunities for you to use your phone as a webcam instead of going out and buying a third-party camera that needs to connect via USB, because as we all know too, a lot of Macs just have USB-C, so then you need an adapter, and it just kind of gets cumbersome. And what's awesome is that your phone with macOS Ventura and the newest iOS, your phone can actually do that for you. It could do it wired or wirelessly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig into that. I have my phone, sitting right in front of me, and I'm gonna try to look around it and work on my computer and record at the same time. So bear with me as we play with this, because we're just gonna try to figure it out and explore new features that are available to us as consumers, and hopefully allow us to get more out of our machine. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and let's get started with continuity camera using your Mac. Okay, so right now I have my MacBook Pro here that I'm using the FaceTime camera on. My monitor's in front of me. My phone is on a tripod in front of me. So in order for continuity camera to work correctly, you need to have it basically stabilized, right? So a tripod would be ideal, a little phone tripod, a selfie stick maybe with feet. That's essentially what I have this on right now. It's like a selfie stick with feet, because the tripod piece doesn't work. So it actually is kind of precariously sitting there right now. You've got to use, the phone's got to be locked, facing you with the rear facing cameras, stable, and horizontal. So you want to be filming in landscape mode. So like if you're a widescreen, filming for a widescreen TV, not the thin little box this way where it makes it really tiny. Not something you want to do. So you want to have your phone set up like that. And what's awesome is when you set that up, you could put it obviously anywhere that you want and record. And so what should happen is when I launch an application that utilizes a camera, if my phone is sitting there and in close proximity, it should detect that and just say, hey, do you want to, I could use it and choose it as an option. So if we look back at my computer screen, you'll see in the top left-hand corner, I already have QuickTime open. So I wanted to use QuickTime to demo this. You could also use FaceTime. FaceTime, apparently reading the documentation, you actually have some other little buzzers and whistles that you can do with it, all from the control panel section over here. Oh, video effects. Hey, I got it too. So we'll play with that a little bit here in a minute. But we will go back to QuickTime here, and I'm just gonna do a new movie recording. And as I do a new movie recording, one of the things that I did earlier when I was playing with it, the first time that you open it up, and I took a screenshot, so we'll overlay the screenshot here for you to look at. The first thing when you open it up is it tells you a screen about using your iPhone as your camera. And it tells you, and then it gives you the option to either continue or remind me later. So it's a white pop-up. It'll overlay the video, when you click on it and you open it up for the first time. Because I've already kind of gone through this a little bit, it didn't show, but I'll make sure that gets overlaid here so that way you can see it and aren't surprised when you see it. But when I click here, you'll see my FaceTime HD camera. So it's the same one that Loom is using, right? And then Optimus Prime. Yes, my phone is called Optimus Prime. I don't know which camera to look at now. My phone is called Optimus Prime since 2008, my first iPhone 3G, because it transformed my life. It was a transformer. That's my nerdy thing I say. And yes, I am a nerd and proud of it. All right, but we go back to the Optimus Prime. I like the Loom one better because I have it set to touch up my appearance, and so that's why I look so much better in this camera, this little guy down here, than I do here. You know, quality. But ultimately, this is now continuity camera. And you'll see that I also have some other options in terms of microphone even. Do I want to use the microphone on the camera? This is a software application I have on my phone. Oh, this Microsoft Teams audio one wasn't as showing when I did it earlier. But Optimus Prime microphone. So I'm going to switch that. Oh, I can't. If I switch it here, it's not really going to make a difference because we're not recording on this big screen here. So I'll go ahead and I'll just hit record. And so now you can see we are recording video using QuickTime, using my phone sitting right in front of my monitor. So you can see it kind of auto adjust. And over here is my MacBook Pro, right? And so you can see on the fly, it is trying to focus and adjust to its surroundings and what it has. Now, if we go to Control Center, up in the top right-hand corner of your backwards, top right-hand corner, that way for you. Here, and I click on it, you could say QuickTime Player and Loom are both using my mics. And if I come to video effects here, my Optimus Prime camera, 54%. So based upon what I read and everything with continuity camera, if you're using it wirelessly, which I am right now, I'm not plugged into anything, it will warn you when the battery gets low. So if you're using it for a long period of time, it'll warn you. Obviously, hardwired would be ideal. It's going to charge it, probably create a better, more stable connection. I'm not sure, to be quite honest, if it's using Bluetooth, wireless, how the devices are talking to each other. I'm assuming it's kind of like a low frequency Bluetooth connection is my guess, but who knows? But coming back to the video effects, you can see these are all your different video effects that we can do now. So desk view is a great one. Like if maybe a good example, in some of our previous videos, Bradford did a battery replacement, and I can't remember if it was a MacBook Pro, I think it was a MacBook Pro. And he kind of set up his camera and it was showing, but when he was recording, he could never really tell if he was in screen or not. Well, what would be awesome with desk view is that he could set it up and have QuickTime running like this on a monitor. And so he'll be able to tell if he's in view or not and not have to worry about it. You know, so the phone would be pointing straight down towards the desk. And so that'd be ideal. So like maybe if I wanted to record a video showing you keystrokes on my keyboard, it might be something that I would do, right? I'm gonna go ahead and click it so you can see. And so, you know, Centerstage automatically, you know, we'll go ahead and hit continue, share with desk view. So this is kind of walking you through the different settings with the video effects. And of course you have the learn more button here that you can click on. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue. So use the plus or minus controls to align your desk to the edge of the box and click start view. So in desk view, you know, you'll be able to put what you want in the desk. Hi, Kona, I can see you over there. You know, kind of in here, right? And then when you hit start desk view, that's what you're gonna see. So I'll just go ahead and click it so you can kind of see what's gonna happen. And you can see it zooms in really, really close on my shirt, right? I got a non-responsive application there, but you could also adjust it on the fly if you needed to. Oh, look at that, it's upside down. So that's desk view. It's not a good example of how to use it here. I'll record another video in the future where we dig more into it. But let's do portrait as an example. We'll get it off Centerstage. Let me, oh, you cannot easily get out of desk view. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording there. Oh, okay, just hit that button. So what I did is it actually created an overlay. I'm gonna do that again. Desk view, start desk view. So if I move this, there's actually two. So something I just learned is that desk view actually creates another overlay of the camera. So you can see it's actually doing double duty. So it must be using the wide angle lens or a different one of the three lenses that I have on there to go ahead and do it, because you can see one in front of me. There's my MacBook Pro. The one, I'm gonna see which one it is. Yeah, okay. So this is the bottom camera out of the three. And this one is the wide angle, the solo one that's off to the right, not the vertical one, but the one below your, the one that's below your flash. So good to know. So now you can kind of tell which cameras are using which. Okay. So anyways, but when I say close that window, I'm still recording. It's still showing me that. So it's just activating different cameras for the desk view. So that was a learn. So that was a fun little learn there. Going back to, effects, you can see portrait would probably be something I would use most often if I'm doing video conferencing or something like that. You could tell behind me how it's blurring my background, how portrait mode does. It's got a good look at my face, all that good stuff. Sorry, I have to keep doing this because the tripod, like I said, is kind of right in my way. So studio light, nice little studio light there with portrait. I could take portrait off, turn it on, get rid of the studio light. Center stage. Whoa, that was nerdy cool. Let's turn it off and let's do that again. That was neat. So one of my favorite underrated features is definitely center stage. And that was just cool to kind of just see it, how it transitioned and moved the camera to get me centered in the view. And I'll throw center stage and portrait in those together. And boom, there we go. So you have these great visual effects up here in your control center. You also have different microphone effects when you look up in the top right in control center. So we'll go ahead and we'll go mic mode. So you can see I have voice isolation as an option. So that's something that, could really just focus in on your voice and isolate kind of ambient noises and things along those lines. For those of you that don't know, there's three microphones on a phone nowadays. And, it actively is using one when you're on speakerphone as an example and using the other two for sound isolation, right? So they're pretty smart on how they use the software and how it can figure that out. So I'm sure in this particular case, because it knows the forward-facing camera is what's pointing towards you, that microphone that is on that side is going to be the primary microphone. It is going to use other microphones for the voice isolation feature in those regards. So the biggest things is, you didn't see it, but there's going to be a pop-up right when you open an application to utilize saying, hey, you can utilize your phone. Now, granted, your phone needs to be set up the proper way first. So don't forget, it needs to be horizontal, it needs to be stable, and it needs to be locked with the rear facing cameras, the 3 or the 2, facing towards you, because that's what it's going to use. Because it uses all those special effects. Sorry, I still have center stage turned on, so I wanted to see how good it does. Because it's obviously using those cameras for things like desk view and all that good stuff. Desk view, we'll dig in a little bit more because I can think of a lot of cool ways that I can use desk view. Maybe even demonstrating things like on how to use trackpad properly or something like that. So pretty cool stuff, or repairs. So anyways, that's a little bit about continuity camera. I hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of weird. I don't know which camera to look at right now at this point, just because I'm everywhere. So I hope you liked it. It's a cool little video. It's kind of throwing me off. These are just fun things that I'm playing with and I'm learning on the fly as I'm digging into macOS Ventura that I want to share with you guys, my users. So hopefully that you like it. Please click like, subscribe, join us on this journey of having stress-free IT because that's what we're here for. And we just appreciate you watching this video. And if you have any questions or anything like that, throw them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer. I try to be as responsive as humanly possible. I'm still